Rama has asked Vasistha, if Brahman, the absolute, is bliss, then why is there sorrow in the world? And it's an important question, so much so that Valmiki himself has put himself into the text, and he began answering this question. And I'll just read that from the beginning. Valmiki said, hearing this question, Vasistha contemplated thus for a while. Obviously Rama's understanding is not efficient because there is impurity in his mind. Yet, if he's not enabled fully to understand the truth, his mind will not find rest. As long as the mind is swayed by thoughts of pleasure or happiness, so long is it unable to comprehend the truth. So this is an important point, that the mind is swayed by thoughts of pleasure or unhappiness. And it's not necessarily our own pleasure or unhappiness that our thoughts are swayed about. We could be thinking about other people's unhappiness. We hear in the news about so much unhappiness in the world, so much tragedy and atrocity. Is that what we're going to be focused on? What can we do about all of that stuff? If you can do something about it, go and do something about it. Otherwise, we need to look at how our mind is responding to these things, to this information. But if that's what we're focused on, then we're not going to get to the heart of what's going on. If the mind is pure, then it instantly comprehends the truth. Hence it is declared that he who declares all this is Brahman to one who is ignorant or half awakened goes to hell. Some people have got more important things to do than get on with finding out what the absolute truth is or getting in touch with the truth. In fact, most people have got something more important to do than inquiring into the truth. They might have quite an important image of themselves in terms of their social status. It seems that Valmiki's doing a bit of teacher training here and saying that this teaching should not be given to those who are not ready for it. The thing is, if people are going to get the wrong end of the stick, they'll get the wrong end of the stick anyway. I suspect this kind of teaching is self-filtering. People aren't going to be interested in this who are not disposed to be open to what it's saying. In fact, just to get this far within the Yoga Vasistha, I think you've got to have your antennae quite well sensitized to what it's saying. And if people wish to dismiss it or get the wrong end of the stick, they can dismiss it in so many ways. That's up to them. Hence, a wise teacher should encourage his students first to be established in self-control and tranquillity. Then the student should be properly examined before the knowledge of the truth is imparted to him. There's obviously a pedagogical concern here. But you know, if people can be receptive to the truth at any time, and I don't think we need to make sure that they're first established in self-control and tranquility. I mean, because as I said, it's self-filtering, and if somebody isn't receptive to this, if they're concerned with political activism or social engagement, then the chances are they're not going to be receptive to this. But who knows? Who knows? So this is what's meant by self-control and tranquility. You're not looking for a solution to suffering in terms of beliefs and notions. Although this is not to eschew any kind of political or social action. It's generally people that are in that kind of sphere who would reject this kind of teaching. They feel that you need to be involved. And by all means, if that's your disposition, if you might actually have some sensitivity to what the Yoga Vasistha is saying, but at the same time, you can still be involved. This is not a mutually exclusive choice that you've got. In fact, the Yoga Vasistha is saying exactly that. Don't retreat from the world. Be involved. What it's saying is, don't get taken in by a lot of notions and beliefs that we've got about the world. And that does not imply that you give up activity. Vasistha said, you will discover the truth for yourself whether Brahman is free from sorrow or not. Or I shall help you to understand this in course of time. For the present, understand this. Brahman is omnipotent, omnipresent, and the indwelling presence in all. This Brahman, through the indescribable power known as Maya, has brought this creation into being. This Maya is capable of making the unreal appear as the real, and vice versa, even as the empty void of space appears to be blue in colour. So it seems here that Maya is being identified with Brahma, which is interesting. Maya is delusion. Maya is what veils aspects of the infinite consciousness from itself, and that veil consists of notions about what's going on. Behold, Rama, you see such infinite diversity of creatures in this world itself. That is the manifestation of the infinite potencies of the Lord. Embrace tranquillity. He who is at peace within himself beholds the truth. When the mind is not at peace, the world appears to be a confusion of diversity. But in fact, this universe is an apparent manifestation of the infinite potencies of the Lord. Just as where there is light there is natural visibility, even so on account of the omnipotence of the Lord, this world appearance has arisen as his very nature. However, simultaneously with this world appearance, ignorance has also come into being, on account of which there is sorrow. Give up this ignorance and be free. So this is the starting point. And if we're going to act, then let's at least act from this starting point.